In the heart of the jungle, some creatures grow beyond belief, and these snakes are proof that nature still holds terrifying secrets. Snake bigger than the boat. They came looking for a giant snake, but nothing could prepare them for what they saw. The beast was hiding in the water so big that even their boat couldn't handle its weight. When they finally pulled it out, it took around 10 people to lift it, yet they were still struggling. This monster was nearly 19 feet long. It weighed around 300 pounds. Even though they expected something massive, seeing it in real life left everyone speechless. Battle of the Amazon Giants. In the wild Amazon, only the strongest survives, and this fight proves it. A huge anaconda went head-to-head with a caiman, and it didn't take long to see who won. The snake wrapped itself around the reptile, crushing it with pure strength. Normally, anacondas go after smaller prey, but this one wanted a full meal. That's why it was so massive. It had been eating giants. Amrashai snake. One moment it was right there, and the next it disappeared into the water. When this massive snake saw people coming with cameras, it slithered right back into the river. But before it vanished, a man managed to show off the beast. Even in those few seconds, it was clear this was one of the biggest snakes ever caught on tape. Hopefully the cameraman got out of there before it changed its mind. Mystery in the water. A shadow moved in the distance, but no one could tell what it was. Someone managed to catch it on video, a long black figure, almost 65 meters away. It wasn't swimming like a snake, but it also didn't look like anything else. Was it resting? Was it feeding? Nobody knows. The creature didn't move much, which makes it even scarier. Is it a snake or something we haven't discovered yet? Record-breaking monster. This snake didn't just break records, it crushed them. Found deep in the wild, it was measured at a jaw-dropping 33 feet and weighed over 880 pounds. Just its head was almost 3 feet long, about the size of a small child. It was so heavy that humans couldn't lift it. They had to call in a tractor. One look at its face, and you'd never want to be anywhere near it. Anaconda strikes back. Some people push their luck way too far, and this guy nearly paid the price. He walked straight up to an anaconda and poked it. As if it was no big deal. But the giant snake didn't wait long. It went straight for him, snapping in a flash. That massive head could swallow a small animal whole. He's lucky to be alive after that stunt. Snake in the tree. They were boating peacefully when something in the trees caught their eye. It wasn't a bird or a monkey. It was a massive anaconda. Wrapped tightly around a branch, it looked down at the people like it was watching them. Its belly was oddly huge. Maybe it had just eaten something. The real surprise? That tree didn't break under the weight of such a beast. Found in a stream. You don't expect to find a green anaconda in a shallow stream, but one explorer did, and it nearly gave him a heart attack. The snake was just lying there, nearly 16 feet long and weighing around 550 pounds. After seeing the beast, he rushed back to camp to bring his team and some camera traps. Usually these snakes hide underwater, waiting to ambush prey, but this one looked like it had barely any strength left in the neighborhood. It was just another normal day until a man walked outside and saw a massive snake crawling near his house. This wasn't the jungle. It was Guyana, a region that borders the Amazon. The video shows the snake from far away, but even then its body looks huge. When the camera zooms in, it's clear. This wild creature had wandered far from home. Maybe it was searching for food or water. One thing's for sure, you don't want to find something like this in your backyard. The beast underwater. You won't believe what was hiding beneath the surface of that river. A massive snake, almost 26 feet long, was caught on camera and had scientists losing their minds. This monster weighed nearly 440 pounds and had a head as big as a human's. But here's the craziest part. The professor who found it says the snake's body is as thick as a car tire. That's not a snake! That's a prehistoric beast! Chopper sighting. Flying over the jungle in a chopper, someone spotted something you never want to see on foot. A huge snake slithering across the land like it owned the place. From above, it looked like a titan, and many online swore it was the legendary Titanoboa. But skeptics say it's not that big. Still, who's to say it wasn't one of its offspring? Nature doesn't play by our rules. The Boys and the Giant. These boys went out for a fun day near the water and ended up on the news. They found a massive snake chilling in the river after a big meal. The thing was about 16 feet long and it took 4 of them just to hold it up. But here's the wild part. They didn't just find it, they killed it before even realizing how enormous it was. Talk about bravery or just blind madness. A night to remember. A group of hikers made the bold move to go walking deep into the forest at night, and guess what they stumbled upon? A huge snake, calmly coiled in the dark like it was waiting for them. When they shone their lights, its body folded over itself 5 or 6 times. But the freakiest part? It didn't even move, just stared back, cold and fearless. Jungle river monster. Deep in the jungle, a group of hunters got the shock of their lives. They spotted a gigantic snake chilling in a river, and luckily, someone had their camera rolling. You can see its enormous head for a split second, about the size of a chicken. Not liking the attention, the snake slowly slithered away with its thick, heavy body trailing behind. It took its sweet time, like a true king of the jungle. Look down and run. What would you do if you looked down from a cliff and saw this thing moving below? A massive snake was captured on video, slithering across land, and people online couldn't decide, Titanoboa or just another Amazon giant. Either way, it's enough to send anyone running the other way. The snake strike. This TV crew wanted to film the wild snakes of the Amazon, but they got more than they bargained for. One of them got too close, and the anaconda struck like lightning. It latched onto the guy's arm with its 100 backward-facing teeth, just like fish hooks. And worst of all, the snake refused to let go. No one knows how they separated them. Clash of the Titans. In the heart of the Amazon, 2 giants collided, the anaconda and the caiman. A camera caught the moment the snake coiled its thick body around the motionless reptile. The caiman looked almost dead, lying still as stone. Then, as if nothing happened, the snake slithered off. So, who won? The jungle keeps its secrets. The foolish catch. During a fishing trip, a group of men spotted a huge snake hiding behind some grass. Instead of leaving it alone, one guy grabbed its tail and started pulling it around. Even though the snake's belly was clearly full, the beast escaped before anyone got hurt. But if it had been hungry, those men wouldn't be going home. Morning surprise. This man woke up to something no one wants to see, a giant anaconda quietly slithering into the sunset. Some folks online claimed it was fake, but the footage is real. So here's the question. What would you do if you found this monster in your backyard? The human crusher. Locals whispered about a killer snake in their area. One brave researcher went into the river to see the truth and found it. A monster easily 20 feet long just lying there in the water. He said it weighed about 200 pounds and could go 6 months without eating. With a body that wide, it could crush a man like a soda can. Human on the menu or not, it definitely won't hesitate. Mighty beast. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Just a few feet away, something massive was sliding into the water. A man had his camera rolling when he spotted a giant snake right in front of him. This thing wasn't just long, it was thick, powerful, and terrifying. It looked like it could easily be over 10 feet long and weigh more than 200 pounds. That body, thick enough to crush a grown man without a second thought. Snake in the dirt. The guys were out in the wild when they froze in pure shock. Right there in front of them lay a massive snake, easily longer than 3 full-grown people stacked together. But the most terrifying part wasn't its length, it was the size of its body, huge, heavy, and intimidating. Thankfully, the snake wasn't moving because it was already dead. That's probably the only reason they were able to walk away. The one that got away. You think you know rainbow boas? Think again. These snakes are usually 5 to 6 feet long, but the one captured here looked like a monster from a different world. It was much longer than usual and in perfect health, and even though it doesn't have venom, its loud hiss is enough to make you back off. This snake might not kill with poison, but it sure knows how to scare off a threat. Snake on the boat. Something wild was crawling on the boat, and it wasn't human. A man caught a snake slithering across a wooden boat before it disappeared into the water. Some folks online say the footage is fake, but honestly, in the Amazon, snakes way bigger than this have been spotted. And even if it's fake, it's a chillingly realistic one. Godzilla snake. Now this right here, this isn't just a snake, it's a monster. Spotted, crawling out of a pond, this beast looked like it could swallow anything in its path. Its body was so thick, so powerful, it looked like it could crush bones without even trying. Whether it was hunting or just wandering, one thing's for sure, you don't want to meet this one up close. The largest viper. Ever wondered what the biggest viper in the world looks like? You're about to see it. This wild nighttime footage shows a massive bushmaster, the deadliest viper out there, slithering through the jungle. Right before that, they even spotted a rainbow boa showing off its colorful body. But seriously, who in their right mind goes snake hunting at night? The beast of Amazon. There's something strangely hypnotic about this one. The video shows a huge snake just moving slowly, hissing into the air for no reason, no panic, no chase, just raw, wild power. You can tell from the way it moves, this beast owns its jungle. That sound and that size, that's the Amazon's quiet warning, dozing away quietly. This might be the calmest snake video ever, but don't be fooled. A giant anaconda is seen resting half in water, half on land, not moving at all. But just because it looks peaceful, doesn't mean it is. No one really knows if it's sleeping or just waiting. One wrong step, and that calm moment could turn deadly. Dare to touch. Here's something that'll make your heart race. A huge boa constrictor is lying still, maybe sleeping, or maybe planning something. Then out of nowhere, a guy walks up and pokes it. He actually poked the sleeping snake. Luckily for him, the snake stayed still. But honestly, that could have gone so wrong, so fast. The silent death. This next snake doesn't need to chase you, it just waits. A bushmaster, one of the deadliest snakes in the Amazon, was caught on camera just lying in a corner. Its body is long, its venom is strong, and one bite can leave you crying in pain. But this one, it stayed quiet, only letting out a soft hiss. Maybe it didn't like the crowd, or maybe it was picking its moment. The silent one. The stare on this snake could freeze you in place. Another boa constrictor, lying still but keeping its eyes locked right on the camera. It's so still that you'd think it was asleep. But snakes don't waste energy, they save it for the right moment. That calm look, it might just be the warning before the storm. The angry tree snake. You won't believe what's waiting up in the trees of the Amazon. Locals call it the Amazon tree boa. But don't let that name fool you. This grumpy beast doesn't like visitors. It's non-venom, sure, but it doesn't stop it from striking at anything that moves. People have seen it launch itself at humans just for getting too close. And honestly, I'd rather not test how strong its bite is. A surprise under the boat. So you're out fishing, just enjoying the quiet, and then you spot it. A massive snake slowly slithering away from your boat, its belly swollen like it just had a big meal. That's what happened in this clip. The snake didn't bother the fisherman, probably because it had already eaten. Instead, it slid off and vanished under a hiding spot like it owned the river. The unexpected camp guest. This camping trip turned wild real fast. While exploring the woods, the group spotted something huge curled up inside a hole. It was a giant snake, nearly 6 feet long, just sitting there like a guardian of the forest. They believe it was a whip snake, one of the most venomous species in the Amazon. Luckily, it was more interested in sunbathing than biting. The tree-climbing beast. You don't expect to look up and see a monster hanging off a tree, but here it was. A huge anaconda climbing up with the power of a machine. Its body was thick enough to crush anything it wanted, but just as it was showing off, a branch snapped. Down it came with a thud like the jungle just dropped a warning sign. The internet mystery. This next video had the internet in a frenzy. A snake, massive in size, gliding through a river in Brazil. The video claims it's 50 feet long. Some even whisper it's the return of the ancient titanoboa. But here's the thing. The video is real, but is the snake really that long? No one knows for sure. It's creepy enough either way. The tree boa encounter. Here's a snake that doesn't need venom to scare you. It's the Amazon tree boa, and it's known for its bad attitude. In this clip, a man wearing gloves approaches one in the wild. You can hear the hiss, see the striking pose. It's not poisonous, but it bites like it means it. And if you're ever in the Amazon, don't forget your mosquito spray too. Just saying. The wind roller. Ever seen a snake longer than 2 grown adults? That's what this cameraman found in the wild. A huge boa constrictor, slithering away like it didn't care who was watching. Its body was thick like a sewer pipe, but way more terrifying, the way it moves through the jungle. It's like the forest clears a path for it. The riverbed monster. You think you're safe in a boat? Think again. This group looked underwater and saw something unreal. A snake rolled up beneath the surface like a sunken log. It stretched nearly 18 feet and weighed over 300 pounds. But the freakiest part? Its head was still above water, silently scanning for prey. One move, and boom, it's game over. The predator's dinner time. You've seen boa constrictors before, but have you ever seen one mid-hunt? This rodent had no clue death was creeping up. The snake moved with purpose, sensing body heat even through the leaves. Then, bam! It wrapped the rat in a deadly squeeze, crushing the life out of it before swallowing it whole. Nature's horror movie in real time. The shallow water ghost. Some explorers went searching for a jungle legend, and they found it. Hiding just beneath the water's surface was a massive snake, barely moving. It didn't run, didn't attack, just lay there, watching. They tried pulling it out, but the snake refused. It felt more like the snake was in control, not them, and maybe it was. The river hunt. Ready for goosebumps? The snake was caught on camera mid-hunt. It waited in the water like a shadow, its eyes locked on a capybara. One sudden lunge, and the poor animal was gone, dragged under like it never existed. The capybara had no chance. And after seeing this, I'm never dipping my feet in Amazon waters again. If that gave you chills, wait till you see what's coming next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more unbelievable discoveries.